guys, it's Waffles here with my good friend Hazy.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Joined alongside Jesus, who is usually in my draft videos, and that was his very good impersonation of me. And you can do the whole video if you want like that. That'll be really
that one.
Anyways, today we're going to be doing our Royal Rumble predictions. We're going to save the Royal Rumble match for later. However, the first match we're going to be starting off with is the Raw Women's Championship match.
So beginning with this women's match, pretty typical in my opinion. I think it's a fantastic matchup. You know, it happened too late in my opinion. It should have been happened like during the ending of 2016, but they had the hot potato feud between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. But anyways, going back into the prediction with these two, so what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to continue with Charlotte's reign of terror, her undefeated streak. And the way she probably is going to win is Dana Brock Lesnar is going to come in and she's probably just going to attack Bayley, cause her the match. Like, something spontaneous is going to happen, I believe. Like, probably Bayley will hit her with a Bayley to belly off the top rope or some reverse Rana. And then, like, Dana Brock is just going to come out and, you know, suplex city everyone and blah, blah, blah. Nah, I'm just joking.
She kind of does look like Lesnar. But I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I think Dana Brooke does get involved somehow. If you guys don't know, Charlotte is undefeated in pay-per-views. I feel like that's not going to end anytime soon. So I say Charlotte gets the victory. Now we've got the Cruiserweight title match, which I actually did forget about, unfortunately. No disrespect to Neville, who I think is doing great right now. But we've got Neville versus Rich Swan. In my opinion, I think Neville's going to get the victory. I feel like he's just, and I think WWE is noticing how good he really is with this new heel run. So I'm going to say Neville gets the victory.
So I also agree with him. I think Neville's going to take it off of Rich Swan, just for the simple fact is that they've been building this up for far too long, and they're actually doing a pretty good job with it, as opposed to what they did with Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, and Rich Swan all together. That was sort of like just pretty quick, and you know, they had Brian Kendrick take the strap off of TJ Perkins, then they had Rich Swan take the strap off of Kendrick, and it sort of felt like it was just hot potato the same way for the women's title. And there's just been a lot of miscommunication for booking, creativity, everything revolving around the Cruiserweight. So I think it's smart to have Neville win. I predict that he will win, and it would build his character even more. I think he's doing a phenomenal job as a heel. His mic work is improving a lot. His wrestling ability has always been there, and he looks more jacked and better than ever.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I think Neville should be the first Cruiserweight champion to have a really lengthy title reign. Next up, we have another Raw Women's match, this time between Sasha and Nia Jax. You know, I thought I would be really into this feud, and I think it's an interesting matchup between sort of like a Cruiserweight style of Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. I say Sasha Banks gets the victory going into WrestleMania. I feel like she needs to get some wins, build some momentum after
I believe Sasha I'm actually going the opposite. I think Sasha's gonna lose. Just for the simple fact is, I think that's how they're gonna build momentum on her getting back to where she was. So my prediction is that Nia Jax is gonna also be on a reign of terror. She's gonna beat Sasha Banks at this pay-per-view. Then at Fastlane and all the Raws leading up to Fastlane, she's just gonna continuously dominate Sasha Banks, probably putting her out of action for a while, and which can possibly be leading to a triple threat match at Fastlane between Charlotte, Bayley, and Nia Jax, and then Sasha Banks causing Nia Jax the match, and then boom, they have Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, and then Sasha will get the victory from there.
And next up, we have the 6-woman SmackDown Tag Team match. I unfortunately don't have most of the members of each team, but I believe it's like Becky, Naomi, and Nikki Bella versus Natalya, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss. I could be wrong. I feel like they should have done a SmackDown Women's title match, but whatever, we get this 6 women. I'm going to go with Team Mickie James or Alexa Bliss or whatever. I just feel like Mickie James is back. I don't see them losing anytime soon, so I'm going to go with them.
I'm going to switch up my predictions here a little bit. I think Becky, Naomi, and Nikki are going to take the victory here, for the simple fact is that not only have I been picking, you know, the heels to win it, but also think that, you know, they're just gonna keep doing, like, building it up until WrestleMania, and then something eventually happens from there, and then probably Becky and Mickie will have some sort of, you know, good match, or it'll lead up to, like, I don't know, a multi-women's match for the women's title.
And now we start sort of with, I think, the matches that everybody's really excited for. Starting off with this one, Well, I actually don't know how people are excited for this one because we've seen it about, I don't know, like 200 times on Raw.
Plus tax.
Yeah, plus tax. We've got Kevin Owens defending his Universal Championship against Roman Reigns, and Chris Jericho will be in a shark cage or something hanging above the ring. Who do you got in this match? And before we start, I feel like a lot of people think that Reigns is going to win and then Cena's going to win the title, and I just think that there's no way that both main titles are going to be switching hands. But who do you got?
I think Kevin Owens is going to win. I think the reason of that being is because it's too predictable to have Roman Reigns win it, and then going forward from there, who is he going to face? Obviously, you know, I predict he will probably face
Strowman, maybe?
No, Finn Balor for the title, if you know, because Balor's set to return. What I think they'll do is they'll have Jericho, you know, distract Reigns from above or some stupid shit like that, and then, you know, Owens would just hit him with a pop-up powerbomb, or worst comes to worst, the referee will get knocked down, and then Owens is gonna ask for them to lower Jericho. Jericho gets lowered out, comes out of the cage, and just attacks Roman, and boom, thus leading into Kevin Owens retaining his belt. And then from there, Roman will probably either feud with Strowman or probably Jericho for the 10th million time, times 2 plus tax plus 5,000.
Yeah, I do see your point. I do think Owens wins, and I had this prediction that I was thinking of for a while. I think what will happen is that the referee will be knocked down, and what will happen is Jericho will have his United States Championship with him, and he'll drop it from the cage onto Owens, where Owens will hit Reigns with the US title or something like that. However, I just see Kevin Owens retaining his Universal Championship.
Before we get into the WWE Championship match, we're going to take a look at this because Rollins, as we know from Raw, he's out of the Rumble, which I think is stupid.
Unfortunately, so dumb.
For the simple fact is, they could have done a lot with, you know, with the build up to this. But anyways, this is a prediction video, so I'm just going to say my predictions and then we'll get to the booking a little bit afterwards. So what I think is going to happen here is sort of what I'm planning on doing with Rollins and my hand fed. I'm having him call out Nakamura at WrestleMania. So what I think is going to happen is Rollins is going to come out at the Rumble. He's going to talk about how Triple H screwed him over, him and his wife, his beautiful wife, screwed him over.
Of course you had to put that in.
Of course. His beautiful wife, and, you know, they screwed him over, and how, you know, he carried the authority, he carried, you know, throughout him leaving the Shield.
Yeah, he did all of Triple H's dirty work for him.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think what's going to happen is he's just going to call him out. He's going to say, you know what, I'm tired of this BS, you know, we're in the road to WrestleMania, so it's either put up or shut up, and if you're not a coward, come out and, you know, answer me.
I see your point with, you know, having him come out and everything, but I think what they'll do is at the beginning of the show or at some point, they'll show Triple H arriving to the arena, and maybe Rollins attacks him from there, or throughout the show, Rollins is looking for Triple H. I just feel like at some point we're going to have some sort of interaction. And another thing that's just coming to my mind right now is maybe Triple H brings somebody out to attack Rollins, or maybe Triple H debuts somebody to have a match with Rollins at the Rumble. Maybe that's where we see the Samoa Joe debut. Just thinking of that right now, but at some point we're going to have to see an interaction because there's no way Rollins is not going to be on this show. Now we have what I think should be the match before the Royal Rumble match, and we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between AJ Styles and John Cena, of course, a SmackDown brand main event. And this is a match I know both of us are looking forward to the most besides the Rumble, because the SummerSlam match these two had was absolutely unbelievable. And I don't expect this one to be as good, because I'm sure if they're having a WrestleMania match, they'll pull out all the tricks for that one. However, we've got this one at the Rumble, and I'm going to go with John Cena. I think Owens is going to retain his Universal Championship, which means I think this title is going to have to change hands. So I'm going to say John Cena gets the victory in a very awesome match.
Now this is the match that I've been waiting for a while now, and I'm very excited for it. This is probably the most exciting match in the Rumble for me, just because of these two. Cena's my favorite wrestler, and second runner-up to it is AJ Styles. Now I think AJ is going to retain, for the simple fact is they're going to probably build it up until the Mania, and that will be the ending of their feud. So with that being said, what will probably happen is that AJ is going to hit Cena with like a Styles Clash on the chair, or maybe get himself disqualified so that way he could retain. And I do agree that this match probably won't be anything really special. I mean, it's gonna be really good, but it's not gonna be, you know, up to par with their SummerSlam match if they're continuing this feud onto WrestleMania.
Now we get onto the Royal Rumble match, which is obviously the one we're most looking forward to. Sort of gonna do some of the people in this Rumble, some of them don't really matter, but starting things off with the New Day, you know, obviously there's a chance they could eliminate each other and it leads to a split or something. I don't really see that happening, but hopefully there was some sort of entertaining spot with Kofi and him saving himself in the Rumble. I don't really know, but what do you think is going to happen with them?
I just think the normal is going to happen. Kofi Kingston does some crazy spot, and, you know, the New Day work together as a team, and then, you know, one of them eliminates the other, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the New Day. As much as I like them, I feel like lately they've kind of fallen off, but you know, it's whatever. And you want to grab Ziggler over there, because I feel like we can sort of do these at the same time. We've got Miz and Ziggler. They're both in the Rumble. I mean, I hope there's no interaction between them because he's seen this feud a bunch. But with Miz, you know, I don't really expect him to do anything crazy. I'm sure he'll be an early entrant as he always is and last a while. But, you know, I don't really see anything special happening with Miz or really Ziggler for that much.
Since Ziggler is turning heel, he's probably going to have, you know, a bit of time in the Rumble, but other than that, I see like Apollo or Kalisto eliminating him, then him coming back and getting his vengeance. As for The Miz, I don't really know what to say for him. He's probably just going to get eliminated. Don't really care. I mean, he's been on fire as of lately, but I just think he's going to get eliminated.
Yeah, it's like for as much as The Miz is like entertaining lately, you have to step back and realize like, oh, it's The Miz. We don't like, you know what I mean?
It's a Rumble match with other people that, you know, is obviously going to overshine him.
Yeah, and then now we've sort of got this interesting trio here, or are they a trio anymore? I'm not even sure, but we've got the Wyatt family, although on SmackDown, Wyatt turned on Harper. It's really confusing. I do believe, though, that all three of these guys are in the Rumble. And, you know, of course, we're going to see some sort of interaction. And I hope Harper gets the better end of it. I personally, and I know you believe, Harper is a really great in-ring talent. Very much underrated in the company. So I hope he gets a singles run. But I don't really know what's going to happen. It's kind of confusing. Probably a lot of RKOs from Orton. Hopefully Wyatt, though, does get some momentum. What do you see happening with these three?
Honestly, I just see, like, Bray and Harper going at it, and then maybe Orton eliminating the two of them, but it doesn't build up to them separating just yet. I think maybe at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, that's when it's set. Like, Orton is going to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and that's pretty much
I feel like another thing just to say, there's probably a chance that Orton eliminates Wyatt just because they're going to be doing this WrestleMania match. But, you know, it's the Wyatt family. I feel like they have sort of lost some steam. I did enjoy their small little tag team run there. And now we've got the tag team champions, which we completely forgot to do the predictions on the pre-show. I mean, I think they're going to retain. I feel like that's given. Like,
honestly, I love this tag team. Now I do, because I didn't think it was going to work at first, because I wanted Cesaro to have a successful singles run. But I just want Anderson and Gallows to take the belts. You know, it's just, if not now, then at least at Mania, because it's just, they came in and now they're just losing everything, and it's no point.
It's really disappointing, to be honest. They really came in with a lot of momentum, and that's sort of fallen off, but we know.
And they built them as international superstars too, you know.
And then they lost to the Usos like in their second week, but we've got these two in the Rumble. I think it's kind of pointless, personally. I feel like it is a filler spot, to be honest, but you know, I don't really see anything special happening. Maybe Cesaro gives a swing to someone like Strowman or Big Show or something like that. But I don't really see anything important happening to these two.
Also, just one more thing to add. Maybe these two can, you know, maybe it could add a separation of the team. You know, maybe it could build, you know, some frustration, and then later on they drop the belts.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a chance they do lose the tag titles and that causes these two to fight each other in the Rumble or something like that. But at the current moment, I just feel like nothing crazy.
Face each other.
Yeah, can't happen. And then we'll get into, I feel like this is sort of the last person who maybe isn't super duper important as much as I love Ruru. Oh my god, come on. Yeah, he's Ruru, he's the best. We've got Rusev. Do you see anything happening with him in this Rumble?
I honestly don't. I just see him dominating probably 4 to 5 people. After that, gets eliminated either by Goldberg or someone else. Someone is just gonna squash him. Maybe Lesnar.
He's one of those wrestlers where, like, the returning guy like Lesnar, Taker, Goldberg can get some momentum by eliminating him. He's sort of perfect for that spot.
And don't get me wrong, I am entertained by Rusev. I think he's very funny, but as of the Rumble, I think he's just gonna get squashed by one of these guys.
Yeah, he's sort of that perfect role for that. But maybe there is a chance that a sort of some sort of Olympic hero returns, maybe to eliminate him. I don't know. We'll get into that soon, though. And over here, we've got two guys I think we can sort of put together too. SmackDown guys who I don't really think have a chance of winning this Rumble that much. We've got Baron Corbin, and then we've also got Dean Ambrose over here. I hope Corbin, I know you don't like Corbin at all, I know that, but, I hope he gets some momentum going, just like Wyatt, maybe eliminate some people, but I'm sure he will get eliminated by, like, someone like Strowman or Goldberg or Lesnar or something, but I don't really think there's a chance he wins the Rumble.
Honestly, I just hope he gets speared and eliminated, that's it.
You think that he should be eliminated faster than Santino?
Absolutely.
That's so mean.
He's miserable.
And then now,
as for Ding Hamon, I think he's gonna have a lot of momentum coming in. He'll probably be in the earlier on, like probably number 3, number 5.
Yeah, or he sort of fits that early role.
Yeah, perfectly. And then he'll be in there for a minute, and then probably they'll have Brock Lesnar just throw him out.
Because he doesn't matter, right?
Miserable.
Yeah, Ambrose hopefully gets some momentum. I know I keep saying that, but Ambrose is one of my favorites, so I hope he doesn't just like job out to somebody. And now we get into this sort of category of who I think have the highest chance of winning, and I think you can agree. Let's start first off with this guy right over here. We've got, what do they call him, the hero from the underground or something like that. We've got Sami Zayn. It seems like a lot of people think there's a chance he could win. Now, me personally, I disagree. As much as I would like to see Zayn win the Rumble, I just don't think it's happening this year, but I hope we see something with him and Strowman. I feel like that's guaranteed. What do you think is going to happen with Zayn?
I think Jericho will probably be in the Rumble, and that's probably who we forgot to add in here. And then Jericho. What probably was going to happen is like Sami Zayn and Jericho would have a feud. Like he'll get eliminated, or Sami Zayn would. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Sami Zayn is probably going to eliminate Jericho, or vice versa. Jericho would eliminate Sami. Goes on, and then they'll probably face at Mania for the U.S. Championship. But that's all I see Sami doing, to be honest.
Yeah, and I love Sami Zayn, but
by the way, this is my fix-up. So
very nice fix-up right there. All right. Now we get into the category of people who I think really, really could win. Before we get into this trio, the New World part-timers, we get into this guy right here, Mr. Braun Strowman, who might be the most interesting entrant into this Rumble because there's a high chance he could win this Rumble and go on to face whoever the Universal Champion is, whether it's Roman Reigns or whoever it is. Strowman, I think, is going to be that guy in the match that eliminates all the people. And I hope we see something with him and Ellsworth. But what do you see happening to Strowman?
That's even interesting. Probably Ellsworth throws his big ass out of the ring.
Good. That would. Now they are on different brands, but I would like to see a Strowman and Ellsworth WrestleMania match, and I feel like that would be really, really cool. But Strowman, there is a chance he wins. I don't think he is. And then we get into. Oh yeah, you got anything else?
I just say he dominates more than Rusev does, and maybe he'll throw out somebody big. Probably like Ambrose, and then he gets his ass handed to him.
I just want to say this now. If Braun Strowman eliminates The Undertaker, and I'm going to do this in my vlog, I will scream on the top of my lungs because I do not want to see him and Taker in a WrestleMania match. But anyways, now we get into, if you could help me pull these guys over, we get into the 3 arguably biggest entrants here in the Rumble. We've got, by the way, my new Goldberg from Jesus. Thank you so much for trading that to me. Now, we can obviously talk about these 3, though. I'm going to have you save your final prediction, who I know it is already. But essentially, we can just go left to right, see what their chances are of winning. And starting off with Goldberg, I don't really think he has a chance to win. I feel like the him and Lesnar match, it just has to happen. That's what they're building towards. Now, unless he wins the Rumble, then they have the match at Fastlane, which I don't see happening. I just don't see either him or Goldberg, him and Lesnar having a high chance of winning the Rumble.
For Goldberg, I think he's gonna just, Lesnar's probably gonna F5 him and he's gonna turn into the Ruthless Aggression figure. As for that, yeah, I just think one of them are gonna eliminate each other.
Yeah, and to go off that, there is a chance maybe that Brock eliminates Goldberg, or Goldberg eliminates Brock, and then the other one comes back in later to eliminate the other one. And we're gonna keep these 3 here. Now we have The Undertaker, and he's who I personally hope wins the most, and I hope we get some sort of interaction with him and Kane. Shout out to Team Rated CVS for that one. Taker, besides Strowman, is the most interesting competitor in this, who I think has the highest chance to win. What do you see happening with Taker in the Rumble?
Other than my original prediction pick, I think Taker's probably the second runner-up to win. But then again, I have doubt because he'll probably be feuding with somebody here. But just thinking going forward with his future, for him actually doing something at Mania, probably he'll win, and I'll see him facing Kevin Owens maybe at Mania.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's likely, but before we give our final prediction on who we think is going to win the Royal Rumble, we're going to get into, me personally, my favorite part of the Royal Rumble, and that is returns and debuts. We're going to go in order here of sort of who is most likely to return or least likely to return. Starting off first with this guy right here. What do you think are the chances that we see? I think it's unlikely, but we see a Batista return.
Don't think it's happening. I think he's just done with WWE for now, and let him continue being Drax, Hulk, or whoever he wants to play.
So I would rule out, I think, a Batista return. Me personally, my favorite wrestler of all time, got RVD right over here. What are the chances you see him returning? Because I don't really think it is that high.
Well, to be fair, he did return in 2009 unexpectedly, and
Yeah,
I was telling you that the other
returns.
day. That was a shocking little surprise. It couldn't happen.
I mean, RVD, obviously, like I said, one of my favorite wrestlers. I'd love to see him, or sorry, my favorite wrestler. I'd love to see him in the Rumble. I just honestly don't think it happened, but I hope he does come back eventually. And then we move on to someone who I think is actually pretty likely. We've got Shelton Benjamin here, who has sort of stayed quiet online, and he tweeted, like, something about the Rumble, and he was saying, oh, people think I'm gonna be in it for like the 9th year in a row or whatever, which is true, because when every Rumble happens, they say Shelton Benjamin's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen. You know, what do you think the chances are of Shelton coming back?
100%. He's definitely has to be coming back. You know, he's coming off of that injury, and I'm so excited to see him back. It's just gonna be amazing, and who knows? Maybe even him and Ambrose could have a little program going into to WrestleMania. He'll
That's
probably
true.
be a heel. Ambrose being the face. Hey, fuck it, it's brand new, so might as well do it.
There's a chance, and I know that if Shelton comes back, I will be very, very excited for that, which you'll see in the vlog. And now we move on to 4 people who could potentially return, or in this case, debut, because we've got Jesus' Custom Elite, Kenny Omega. Now, me personally, I don't think this is happening at all. I know Pro Wrestling Tease has been teasing it a lot, and a lot of people are saying, Omega's got to be in the Rumble, but I just don't think it's got to happen.
I think this is a 50-50 because I can't be too, like, optimistic about it in terms of, like, doubting. Last year, I obviously knew that AJ was, I read it, that he was coming back, but I didn't believe it. Like, I had to see it to believe it, and it's sort of the same way here. I want to see Kenny Omega come into the WWE. I need to see it to believe it, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I just don't think there's a high chance of it happening. I feel like he's really good at teasing and whatnot. Now we have 3 more, and of course, what would this Rumble be without mentioning the man himself? The recently inducted or announced to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We've got Kurt Angle, and before he was even announced to be in the Hall of Fame, there were rumors of him entering the Rumble. What do you think the chances are of him entering the Rumble?
Just like I told you, man, the first day I found out that he was in the Hall of Fame, I told you, Angle Royal Rumble. I think it's happening. It's
gonna be so amazing.
It's a Rumble. It's a Rumble to remember. So why not have the Olympic gold medalist come in and adding on to what you were saying, eliminate Rusev, and bada bing, bada boom, boldest guy in the room. How you doing?
That's a good one. He should come back if he's with Enzo and Kaz and do that. I really want him to be in it. I just personally don't think it's gonna happen as much as I want it to.
By the way, my fix up again.
Yes, his fix up, because his legs are good and mine are about to break. And now we've got, in my opinion, well, there is one figure I don't have here that I want to talk about, and that's Ty Dillinger. Do you think he's going to enter in at number 10? Because I feel like that's what a lot of people think is going to happen.
Most likely. Either that or they'll probably just troll the crowd and give somebody like Ellsworth.
Yeah,
just
10?
Yeah.
I feel
It'd be pretty
I want to
funny.
see it really badly. But now we get into Samoa Joe here. Is it almost guaranteed that he's going to be in the Rumble? He hasn't been on NXT TV for like, what, about a month now? Really quiet, just... I feel like it's gotta happen. Samoa Joe has to be in this Royal Rumble, and at the least, he has to interfere in the AJ John Cena match. But I think he is going to be in this Rumble.
I think he has to be in the Rumble. It's about damn time he comes up from NXT. You know, he's been there way too long. You know, considering the superstars that they've signed already, it's about time we see him. He deserves to be on the main roster. He deserves to be on SmackDown. I agree with that. And I think he would have an awesome program with Dean Ambrose as well. Wink,
John
wink.
Cena. John Cena, maybe. If he throws out Ambrose, that would be a good WrestleMania match. But we've got one more person that you think is going to return. You can just go ahead and show him.
This is the person who I think is going to win. I've been saying this probably since I heard about his injury of like when he was going to come back and whatnot. Hopefully, there is a 25% chance in my mind that I do believe he's not going to return. But here's my prediction to win it all. Finn Balor. I just like I told him when I met him at Ringside Fest, come back and beat Kevin Owens for the world title.
And I agree with you. I think there's a chance he does return. I would love to see it because I love Finn Balor. But since we're doing our picks for the Rumble, we can get Goldberg out of here. We can get Lesnar out of here. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, that The Undertaker, the man himself, one of my favorites of all time, is going to win the Royal Rumble. I just feel like it has to happen, whether he faces Roman Reigns or even a Finn Balor at Mania, which actually can't happen if he's winning the Rumble now that I think about it, or they do my dream scenario that I've been crying about for months with John Cena. However, I just believe Undertaker is going to win, and before we finish, I want to make sure you guys go out and head out to Jesus' channel, which is going to be linked in the description. It's going to be the first link right there to check out the video that we're doing on his channel. Boy, that was long, but are you excited for the Rumble?
Yes, I am.
I am too. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay tuned.
Remember the Rumble.
To the next one.